Every single time James Gunn opens his mouth, he proves everybody right with their suspicions that he was the wrong choice to be heading up a cinematic universe. I mean, every single time this guy gives an interview, it just simply reinforces that, wow, James Gunn is all about James Gunn, and his solipsism is going to be the end of whatever project he attaches himself to. Because, well, hey, to be completely honest, man, I know there's a lot of people out there that really like his work. They think that, he's got the right tone, he's got the right tenor to do DC, whatever. Maybe they have a special affinity for Guardians 1, 2, and 3, whatever, I don't care. Everything that I see about his movies is the antithesis of what I like about comic book, or hell, even cinema in general. He's always been a discount Joss Whedon to me, and he will stay that way, because as the further his career goes on, the more he gets entrenched in his own tropes and styles, and well, it doesn't seem like he's going to be cured of those proclivities anytime soon. So hey, my best hope for the DCU is that, God, like, if you gotta sacrifice Superman in order to have other people take on different roles for other superheroes, okay, I guess. But to couple this and talk about another topic that we discussed earlier this week, how he's already skating on thin ice with WB. I mean, it's gonna be a long year, just about a year, right? Because it's not until the tail end of June Supergirl is gonna come out and underwhelm everybody, and then we'll finally have a honest conversation about, oh fuck, is the DCU fucked 2 movies in? Well, guess what? It was already fucked 1 movie in, because here he is out here again, okay? And this is supposed to be in support of Peacemaker Season 2, but he just makes it all seem just so brain dead, okay, if it wasn't obvious to begin with. But James Gunn says Peacemaker will set up the rest of the DCU. Interesting. The way that you pushed Superman was supposed to be a standalone start to the DCU, but then it just ended up being a quirky James Gunn team-up movie. But now you want to say that Peacemaker, a TV show, is going to be setting up everything else, and teases when the next story in his Superman Saga will begin production? I beg your pardon? Yeah, because we talked about this, God, within the past couple of weeks or something like that. Now, James Gunn was writing the script for not quite Superman 2. He said he was writing the sequel of Superman, but he wouldn't call it Superman 2. I think he made that confirmation over on Threads, but this right here, yeah, it's a more full-throated confirmation that, yeah, there's going to be another Superman story coming out, but it's not going to be Superman 2. In fact, we even got a little mini franchise within the larger franchise. Yay, we're different than Marvel, by the way, guys. Don't worry about it. But we'll get around to the Peacemaker stuff here in a second. I just want to get to the Superman Saga stuff right here. Gunn also gave a little tease for what's next after the success of Superman. Right, okay, which he wrote and directed. Yeah, we know, revealing. I've already finished the treatment for the next story in what I'll call the Superman Saga. The treatment is done, which means a very, very worked out treatment. I'm working on that and hopefully going into production on that not too far away from today, which is very interesting, right? Because if you recall, what was that? Oh God. The end of June, I thought there was a deadline of July 1st where Matt Reeves turned in the script for Batman Part 2, and he was hesitant to say, oh yeah, we're all done and dusted, we're ready to go into pre-production, we're ready to go into production, said anything moving forward. And then, yeah, what was it, last week we got confirmation, this time last week we got confirmation that, yep, Batman Part 2 pre-production is beginning. We're going to start cameras rolling here at the end of the year, and we're still hunkering down on that October 2nd, 2027 release date. And so that gives enough time, enough breathing room between the two arguable flops. A Clayface I can go ahead and reserve a little bit of judgment on, because I think at least right now as it sits, the budget looks to be a little bit more reduced and a little bit more subdued on that one. So if it comes out and it only makes $200-300 million, which is wild to think about, but still, that's what we're at right now with superhero movies, making that much money and inarguably being a flop. But if Clayface does that on a $60-80 million budget, that's totally fine. But Supergirl, it's already been tapped at $200 million, and trust me, ladies and gentlemen, it ain't making $600-650 million. It's fucking not, because it's going to be DC's big summer movie, and yeah, the marketing budget on top of that, oh my God, I can't wait to see that thing crash in slow motion. But okay, I'd imagine James is more than likely going to, add clarification if Supergirl is going to be a part of the Superman saga. Are we just going to have like a super family sort of dynamic going on here? I'd imagine he's waiting to make that confirmation once we figure out what the ultimate fate of Supergirl is going to be, because yeah, he could just pivot onto, well, hey, once Matt Reeves is done with Batman, okay, or in some kind of a petty attempt to undercut the success of that movie, I'd imagine probably by the end of the year, James Gunn is either going to leak or he's going to let loose that, yeah, we have a Batman casted, or hey, we might even just get an outright confirmation that here's the DCU's Batman, as a means to throw more water on Matt Reeves' fire, because there's a lot of goodwill happening over there with that project. And yeah, James Gunn has his sycophants, but it'll be interesting, right? Because and now as we move into a post-theatrical run for Superman, because yeah, all of the dick sucking for this is finally going to end, which is so goddamn wonderful, because this is the height of just being absolutely pathetic. Superman will surpass Aquaman and Joker at the domestic box office tonight. So heading into Friday, once we get the actuals from Thursday, becoming the 5th highest earning DC film ever domestically. And that domestically is doing a hard carry, because if you remember, Aquaman 1 and Joker both made over $1 billion. Superman isn't going to crest $600 million at the box office. And you could run back all of those Hollywood Handle, Culture Crave, dick-sucking film, all of their posts about Superman with, you take a look at that global box office, it's eyeing a $700 million. Okay, we got to revise 650. Oh, run that back at 630. And now they're saying just as early as the beginning of the week, somewhere between 590 and 620, that's what it'll be making. And well, we've had a couple of consecutive days, even if you go down to the box office right here, just under $1 million. Okay, a cheap Tuesday ended up perking up a little bit, but yeah, it's finishing 5th, 6th place. This weekend it's going to be even worse than that. It's going to be losing theaters, and yeah, I'll be interested when we do the recap on Tuesday how exactly Superman fares, especially with the revelation that, oh yeah, it's releasing on digital tomorrow. So yeah, okay, cool. You passed some arbitrary benchmarks in order to make you look more spectacular than you actually are. But now the people that didn't go to the theater, okay, all of James Gunn's sycophants, well, now they can theoretically go over this weekend and, rent out Superman on digital, buy it on digital, whatever the hell, just throw away your money like that. Okay, buying and renting a digital product is like, that shit's fucking retarded, at least in my opinion. But hey, you can at least see a Mr. Terrific fight scene because they released that, and because it's Warner Brothers, I can't play that for you because they will strike this shit down hardcore, because they're just about as petty as their DC head. But hey, after James Gunn said, no, those tweets and those early leaks and rumors that Superman is coming out, this quickly, okay, less than 35 days after its theatrical release and it's going to digital, that's erroneous. It's going to be coming out much later than that. And then we ended up at the tail end of last week getting the announcement that Superman is going to be going to digital at the end of the month, towards the end of the month, the 26th or something, the 25th or 26th was the early number. And then, yeah, what was it, Wednesday or something, Tuesday it came out directly from the horse's ass himself that, oh yeah, Superman's heading to digital this Friday. All right, great lead up. Oh, that's very interesting. But his cope on this is so fucking wild. Like, this guy's a perpetual liar. And I think as more people come to the realization that, Superman wasn't very good and James Gunn is, well, he's kind of an insufferable asshole. For as bad as Kevin Feige has been for Marvel, okay, especially over these past couple of catastrophic years, he doesn't run to every single open mic and make an asshole out of himself. I can at least give him credit for that. He's a terrible studio head, but I think James Gunn is, at least at this point in time, even worse. He could course correct and things could get a little bit better for him, but as he's acted so far, it's like he is working as anti-marketing for any project he's attached to, because you can't take anything he says seriously, because just look at this. This is fucking wild. It has to be heard to believe, or to be believed rather. Superman soars to digital. Sure it does. Before Peacemaker release, as James Gunn wanted everybody to see the movie ahead of season 2. Okay, cool. So Superman was soaring in the box office, but like I said, you have to listen to this because it's so stupid. Gunn told Screen Rant of the quick jump to digital. Well, it's very complicated, but the truth is, because of Peacemaker, right? Because of Peacemaker. I originally thought Peacemaker was going to be coming out next month. Okay, it's objection, Your Honor. You are the head of DC. How, either, did you not know the release schedule of your own goddamn projects? You spearheaded season 1 and are doing the exact same thing for season 2 of Peacemaker. And how do you not know the release schedule of that? So either you are an idiot, a neglectful idiot, head of a studio, or you're a liar. One is a little bit more malicious than the other, but both of them spell disaster. There's a lot of things that are beyond our control. Oh, you're just lying right now. So that Peacemaker is coming out now, and at the end of the day, I wanted everybody to be able to see Superman that wanted to, even those people who couldn't get to the theater before Peacemaker, and that's really the reason for it. Or is it that nobody really was coming back? Everybody had already seen Superman, and you're just trying to use the cope because, yeah, there would not be any other explanation as to why, unless of course you're Paramount with Sonic 3 at the end of last year, which inexplicably decided to announce that, hey, it's going to be heading to digital. What the fuck are you doing? It is a crushing at the box office, and you undercut like that. Like the reason that you rush things off to digital, because at the beginning of the day, we talked about Thunderbolts heading to Disney Plus at the end of the month. That shit came out in fucking May, okay? It had a proper and underwhelming theatrical release, but it had a proper release regardless. Superman heads to digital in a little over a month, July 11th. And now it's heading to digital August 15th. All because what? You're going to use it as an entry point into the second season of a TV series that nobody watched the first season of? Like, what? That makes no fucking sense at all whatsoever, but it makes more sense if you realize that James Gunn is a perpetual liar. And oh yeah, the follow-up to Superman, okay, no, we're not talking about Superman 2, because there's not going to be Superman 2, there's going to be a Superman Saga, and the follow-up to Superman is going to be Supergirl, because we're establishing the DCU, but the DCU is getting established by Peacemaker, which apparently James Gunn tells kids not to watch Superman Sequel, even though families were supposed to watch. See how it makes no fucking sense at all whatsoever? James Gunn says kids shouldn't watch the Superman sequel, which he claims is the rated R Peacemaker Season 2 premiering August 20. Nobody's watching that shit. So Gunn introduces a goofy, kid-friendly Superman, but then calls the follow-up something kids can't even watch. No, make it make sense. Oh, I can. He's a liar. Back in July on Threads, a fan asked a Gunn about Superman sequel. Yeah, he replied, "I'm not sure how you define a direct sequel. I pretty much think of Peacemaker Season 2 as a direct sequel." Now, Wednesday night's Peacemaker 2 Season 2 red carpet premiere, Gunn doubled down, telling The Hollywood Reporter, "It's a big part. Definitely Superman leads directly into Peacemaker. It should be noted that this is for adults, not for children, but Superman leads into this show." And then we have this, the setting up of all of the rest of the DCU in the season of Peacemaker. It's incredibly important. I'm going to imagine at the end of this, it's probably not going to be too dissimilar to a Marvel Disney Plus project. The way that they're hyping this stuff up, like, oh my God, you're going to have to watch all of this slop in order to understand what comes next. It'll probably either make it A, more confusing than when you went in, or B, not be connected to anything else at all. I kind of imagine it's probably going to be a mix of two, but it's more or less gonna serve, I would kind of think it would serve Peacemaker more, because that is a character and that is a universe that is more conducive to the proclivities of James Gunn as opposed to a proper Superman. But we'll see. I won't. Very few people will, but hey, it's like super important, guys. Trust me. Lots of guest stars coming up, lots of characters that are showing up, and we've already met in Superman. I don't think that there's anything that I've done that I love more than this season of Peacemaker. Fuck, man, this is the same asshole who said that The Flash is the best superhero film that he's ever seen. He is a perpetual liar. He's a terrible studio head, and now he's gonna have nothing but open runway before that flop in the making of Supergirl coming out in the late stages of June next year. It is going to be a wild ride, and yeah, I just can't wait. I can't wait for public sentiment to turn on this fucking idiot, because it can't happen to a better guy. So with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.